Hi guys, this is more BS that I had to put up with the avoidant. I'll tell you about the time the avoidant ruined my birthday. Anywho, this was one of the weird years that my birthday fell the day before Mother's Day. Okay, so we had kid-free weekend. We were going to go on a trip that the avoidant planned out and paid for. This was a rarity. Okay, so she took me to this great like spa where they got the jacuzzis and treatments and all that stuff. Right, it was a lovely time. She even paid for dinner. Now, this was a momentous occasion because I swear to God, the 2 years that I was with her, this was the only meal she ever paid for. Like, I should have gotten the commemorative t-shirt and taken the commemorative picture. Now, her ex-husband and her kids could blow up our weekend at the drop of a hat. Like, they would get into a fight, and then both like the ex-husband and the kids would just constantly be calling her. And I would say it's like, look, you gotta stop picking up the phone. They have to figure this out for themselves, okay? Otherwise, they're gonna keep calling you. Our weekends are totally going to be ruined. So we had a nice day. And so we're back at my place. We're in bed. It's 11:30 at night. All of a sudden the phone starts blowing up. It's her middle daughter. It's the ice skating daughter, and she's calling up hysterically crying. Now, here's how I know this. The one thing this avoidant loved to do, which was an awkward position and a boundary that I should have said something about, was anytime any one of them would call, she would put them on speakerphone. Not even leave the room, like speakerphone, so I could hear too. I look back at it now, like whatever was going on that phone was none of my business. Should have said something, but I didn't. So the kid's calling up hysterically crying, saying that daddy's being mean. Now, the funny thing about this, I would hear all these horrible stories about her ex-husband. So I'm picturing this big bad dude. I mean, he was a big guy, kind of looked like a sweaty egg, but what I always thought was funny, dude sounded just like Kermit the Frog. It's like, you will get these child support from my cold dead hand, stuff like that. So he starts calling her up and he's talking about how the kids are acting up, everyone's screaming, and then he threatens to pew pew himself. He were like, I will have a gun, I'm going to my brains out. But like again, in Kermit the Frog's voice, which made it like sad and funny at the same time. So like the phone calls keep coming back and forth from kid to him, kid to him, kid to him, kid to him, to the point I was like, dude, I think we have to go over there. I think something must be going on. Like it's like, oh no, he threatens this all the time. Like I'm not used to this because I'm used to dealing with like people in touch with their emotions who don't have to threaten to do stuff like that in order to get attention. But I digress. So we head over there. Now I'm thinking, like, am I gonna have to get involved in this? I'm gonna have to say anything. Like, we have not been together too long at this, like maybe like 6, 7 months at this point. Go over there. She walks in, front door. One kid comes out. The ice skating kid comes out. Now, I would figure the way that this kid was calling and crying and stuff on the phone, like it would be like the end of the movie Die Hard, like where I'd have to like go up to her, like wrap her around around with a blanket and ask like, "Hey, is everything okay? Everything is good?" Kid gets in the car. Kid has the biggest poop eating grin on her face. And I'm like, this is morbid because this child was calling, hysterically crying, saying that she was scared, yada yada yada. So the other kids come in, get in the car, start to drive off. This was not her night. This was his night with his kids. But like this would happen a lot. It would get too chaotic. We'd have to you go get these kids. The kids figured this out and would do this constantly. So we're all in the car. Look back to her and we're like, what happened? What was going on there? Big smile on her face because she's in the car already. Big smile. Dad said I couldn't go skating. Dad said I couldn't go ice skating. Hysterically crying phone calls, ex-husband, pew pew. And I'm like, this is insane. So I figured we would drop the kids off at like her mom's and go back to my house. Like it was my birthday, right? Like they had their grandma, they live with their grandma. Like, no. I ended up, and I was in the car. I couldn't say like, hey, please drive me home. We ended up back at her mother's place. And I went from sleeping in my nice bed on my birthday, thinking I was going to get birthday provisions, to sleeping on a trundle bed in a room with all of her kids. Happy birthday to me. This was just par for the course. I have several more like this. Follow for more cool stuff at the store.